Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. Appreciate you checking in with us. Wanted to kind of tell you what we've got going on here at the shop. And Michael and you have been working very, very hard on this boat and doing a great job. They removed the carpet on this boat, and Michael has been working on doing some detail and stuff like that on this boat. And this boat is really transformed. It's actually a pretty good looking boat. This particular customer is really into this boat, and so he's investing in his purchase, or whatever you want to say. And I think he's doing it's a good looking boat, and he likes it, and he knows what he wants. And so Michael and you have been working on this. Obviously, Yu's offered a tournament right now. So he had to leave, I think it was Wednesday or so, Tuesday or Wednesday, I don't remember the particular day. So Michael has been super busy here at the shop, and that's good, because when he's busy, he's able to pay his bills and take care of my grandkids. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. But he has been working on this, and this particular customer, is having lights put on it. We're waiting for parts to come back, and then the boat is going to be scanned. Now, we was hoping to have already scanned the boat, and that was going to be this week's video, to be very honest with everybody, show you how we did that and how we work with outside vendors. Unfortunately, due to a lack of communication between the outside vendors and ourselves, which and it was more on their end than our end, we wasn't able to go ahead and scan the boat. And that's obviously my opinions, and opinions like belly buttons, we've all got one. So Michael has continued to work on this boat and continue to do the rest of it. So now we've got to wait for the tops to come back from the powder coater, and from the powder coater then we'll be able to scan it, and we'll get the deck cut, and then we'll show you how we do all of that stuff. That was supposed to be this week's video, and it's not. In between time, and this is the thing that just absolutely drives Grumpy crazy, is we ask people all the time to get their boats in early. And of course the weather has been nice here down in Texas, and excuse me, don't get upset, I'm sorry, my allergies are messed up. The weather has been nice, so people want to take their boats out, and needless to say, their boats have been sitting, and so they're having issues, so they want to call, drop their boat off in the morning, get it back in the evening, and that doesn't always work well. So if you do have a boat and you're thinking you get about getting ready to take it out, check it out now. Don't check it out the day you want to take it out, or you got a tournament. It's like, really, guys, it boggles my mind. It drives me crazy. Michael is one of those kind of really nice guys, and he tries to work well with everybody. He plays nice. I particularly don't. I don't have a problem with telling a client, you're out of your effing mind. How long have you known you've had this problem? Oh, 4 weeks, and now today he's supposed to jump through his rear end and get that boat ready. Anyway, enough on that subject. So Michael has been detailing this, if I haven't already said that, polishing it up and stuff. He's done a great job. It feels great. I always like it when they look good, but not only when they look good, but when you run your hand across them, that they're super smooth, and this one is super smooth. So he's been tidying up the wiring. I can't tell you all the stuff they did. The 100-hour service on the motor. They put a light on the top of the motor. Kind of looks like one of those things in Star Wars, now with the thing on the top, like bloop, 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 bloop. So anyway, Michael's looking at me like, what in the heck are you doing? So between all that, all of a sudden we don't really have a video ready for this week, so this is what we're going to talk about here a little bit. The other thing that we've been fielding pretty much the last couple of days, and it's just part of it, is, as you know, Michael sells a tremendous amount of lithium batteries. And if you are up north, so if you're anywhere further than Dallas, I think it's a good, so if you're north of Dallas, do not leave your lithium boat in your battery in super cold weather, unless your garage is heated and cooled. Don't do it. because what happens is it runs the battery all the way down and you're not able to start it. Now, if it's a 12-volt battery, you can call Michael and he can tell you all the tricks to get your battery going like that. Boom. If it's a 36-volt, and those are all the calls we've been taking, every time I turn around I can't find Michael and he's telling somebody else what they have to do with their 36-volt battery. You need to take it out of your boat and put it somewhere where it's warm. I do not advise charging batteries inside your house, and I'm not saying that you should do that, but you should put the battery somewhere where it is safe, and it's safe for you, and it's not sitting on a concrete floor in freezing weather. In fact, if you have a particular make of battery, look it up on the internet what you should do with that battery in extremely cold conditions. Don't leave it in your boat, and don't leave it hooked to the charger. And also make sure that you know that your charging system is set up correct for when the boat is sitting for long periods of time. Now, I'm not an expert on this, and maybe we'll get Michael to do a video on this, but I'm going to tell you, some of these new charging systems have to be set up particular ways. So for instance, with one client, they had a 36-volt and I believe they had a 12-volt. I might not get this right. If I don't, correct me. But their charging system and stuff, the way it was set up is the charging system was making sure that the 12-volt system is constantly charged. And I believe probably the 12-volt system is the one that cranks the motor, is probably what my thinking is here. So it completely runs down the 36-volt because it's going to protect the 12-volt first. That's a general principle. Maybe get that slightly wrong, so don't get all. So make sure that you know how your charging system works, and if you're going to store your boats and stuff for long periods of time, check your owner's manual, check on the internet, shoot Michael a text, but don't leave them in your boat if it's freezing for long periods of time. And let's face it, some of you guys, it's cold for extended period of time. We don't have that here in Texas, so we don't have to worry about it so much. I do understand, and Michael and I both do sympathize. When you buy an expensive 36-volt, I was going to say $36,000, but if you buy a 36-volt battery, it is a major investment. They're good, don't get me wrong. They're good to have, they work well, but if you don't treat them right, they're not going to work right. But if you have one of those batteries, make sure you know how it works, what the proper conditions and stuff. I don't know what one of those batteries goes for nowadays, $2,000 or $3,000, whatever, I don't know. But if you're going to make that kind of investment, you need to know how it works. We all make mistakes. And so Michael's been, he's got the answers all written down now. So somebody calls, says, this is what's going on, So keep that in mind if you have lithium batteries, or even if you're traveling to somewhere where it's cold and freezing. So, you might be down here, but go somewhere north to fish, and then it's really cold for X amount of days, and you could have some problems with your batteries. And so make sure you do your homework on your batteries before you go too far. So, Michael is installing some LED lights in this right now. We've done the 100-hour service. We have fixed trailer lights again. And we are going to do a video on trailers. We've discussed that earlier on today. Troubleshooting trailers is a real pain in the rear end. And we're going to come up with some kits. I've talked to Michael about this. We're going to come up with some kits and some instructions of how to keep your trailer wiring and stuff in tip-top condition. Yet again, this is one of those things where one side was working, the other side wasn't working. It was intermittent and stuff. And oh my God, it'll drive you crazy. So we've got to the point now, if it's like that, we just take it out and replace it. He does. Because there's not enough money to troubleshoot a trailer. The wiring harness is negligible, right? What's the wiring harness? Huh? $20 for a wiring harness. Okay? You can spend 2 or 3 hours. In fact, one poor lady, God bless her, we spent 10 to 20 hours on her trailer. And obviously we didn't bill her for that. But we finally went in and just redid it, and it still didn't solve the problem. The problem was on a truck. So she was our guardian angel, because we obviously did the right thing there. So We're going to be doing some stuff on trailers. He's going to be coming out with what I call is a mil-spec kind of wiring harness. And the reason why I say that, in appropriate places, it's going to have better materials and stuff like that to where it doesn't wear out, etc. But we've talked about trailers 100 times before. And so check your trailers way before you're going to go out, because that's been the second thing we've been working on. Because here in Texas, you have to get your trailer inspected. And your lights have to work. So, you know, make sure that you have those things up to date. Don't decide the day that it has to have the inspection that you decide to check those things out. So, you know, I know you guys get tired of listening to me, but it drives me crazy. I mean, it's like nobody watches the videos or listens to what anything I have to say. But Michael has this really neat little box. It's gone missing. Oh, it's in his toolbox. Michael has this really neat little box. Right here, and this thing is, oh my gosh, this thing is a godsend. So in here we have a lithium battery. See that? Lithium battery. And this is the testing thing right here. Okay, and then down here, this is what you hook up to the boat, and then you flip that switch around and it tells you well, it doesn't tell you what's wrong, but what it does do is that you know that you've switched there. If that side doesn't work or this side doesn't work, etc., you know where to go, etc. But you know, 9 times out of 10, the wiring harness, it takes longer to do the labor than the wiring harness. And quite honestly, poor old Michael, we finally got to the point where we wouldn't mess with trailers, because you can spend an entire day on a trailer and a customer is not going to spend that kind of money, and it's not fair. So now we just say, no, this is what we're going to do. We do it, bam, bam, thank you, man, back out the door. So nice light up here. I swear to God, it reminds me of something out of the Star Wars little robot guys. And you're going to say, well, how do you take your top off? Well, there's a connector in here. So when you lift it up, you go in, you do disconnect the connector, and the whole thing comes off.
I made it long enough so you can take it off. I made it long enough so you can like kind of take it off. Damn.
Yeah, so he made it better. So on the race cars, we do that on the hoods for the lights. So we kind of stole that idea. I did. But anyway, so Michael's been working hard on this. We're really looking forward to working with the Sea Deck people, get this boat. I think this is going to be a spectacular boat. He's made a lot of videos on this boat, but quite honestly, we haven't had a chance to combine them. So these are the bunks the customer wants. And we're going to be putting some light strips down that for them. So Michael's going to be doing a little routing, that kind of stuff. Still waiting on parts for the lower end to put this back together. We're piling up the work for when Hugh gets back. So he's got 1 or 2 options. He either wins and he doesn't have to work next week, or he loses and he better turn around and get his butt back here to work to help us out. So I think I've covered all the things that I want to rant on, to be honest with you. I think that's about it, really. Is there anything else that I do need to cover? Okay, well, that's kind of it for this week, guys. The one thing I would suggest to you, as the season is picking up and people are getting back out on the water, especially down here in the south. I even heard that spring has come early to some other parts of the United States. Check your boats out early, get your stuff ordered. If you would send my son some business at mealymarine.com, I really would appreciate it. It does help him out, and it does help support the channel also. So if you would like to like, subscribe, and share, because I'm supposed to say that and I always forget about it, we would appreciate it. Both Michael and I do appreciate you. We will be getting back on the Ranger project, which is over there. I do apologize to everybody. I've been working on a special project. Was really hoping to have it wrapped up today, but I did something silly and got on the Snap-on truck, so I had to reorganize my toolbox. But anyway, do appreciate you guys, and thank you. And don't forget to send some comments. Tell me what you did to get your boat ready for the season coming up. So Michael has been busy, and we are sorry that we're not getting the videos out the way we'd like, but he's got to take care of his customers first. So I hope everybody understands. Thank you. Have a great day. Okay, guys, I'm sorry because I knew there was something else I wanted to share with you, and I wanted to share with you this boat here. And I don't get into brands and stuff, to be very honest with you. Michael works on all the different brands and whatever it takes to take care of his family. But I have to say, this is probably without a doubt one of the best looking boats I've seen come in here for a long time. It's super clean from an aspect of just being one color. Obviously there's some color up there on the dash, whatever the hell you call that. But this boat, I've been working next to this boat now for about a week, and it's just, in its simplicity, it is just absolutely awesome. So it just goes to show you can pick out one color and get a great looking boat. And unfortunately, I don't believe the videos sometimes give the boats look better in person than they do sometimes in the video. I'll go home on a Friday and watch the video with my wife, Valerie, and you know, it just doesn't always show up. But this client brought this boat in for a 100-hour service. The service was done, double checked the lights, added an additional light up there on the power pole, kind of gave it the Mealy Marine discount double check, make sure the trailer and everything's working fine. But this guy, I think, really did a tasteful job on this particular boat. And Michael and I was just talking about it, and I kind of feel bad because I knew when we were doing the video that I was missing something, and I just wanted to bring this boat. This is one of the boats that came in for a 100-hour service this week. It was waiting for the client to come and pick it up, so they're going to be here shortly to get it. So we've got it ready to go, the old forklift truck to run it outside for them. And anyway, so I don't know about this particular brand. I do like this seating area. Seems to be a lot more room. From my opinion, there's a lot more room on this particular boat for some reason. I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but it just kind of caught my eye because through its simplicity. The one thing that I don't like, and Michael and I was just talking about it, all these fancy electronics that they're getting on these boats, I'm really worried about how that is going to work out over a period of time. We have some boats that come in here 1 or 2 years old, and they're already having trouble with those electronic pads, the CAN bus, etc. So I'd like to get your guys' opinion on what you think about that. Personally, if I was to build a boat from the ground up, I probably would go old school with switches. And the reason being is that switches are always going to be around. I see through social media a lot people hunting for these pads, these keypad things that sometimes are no longer available, and that's really a crying shame. The rest of the boat looks great, but the keypad is out. So anyway, getting way off track, but I did want to share this with you, this particular boat with you in its simplicity, simple, one color, just real clean looking, and wow, I'm not really a great person, but it really looks pretty good. So anyway, thanks again, and I appreciate you letting me share this with you, and I apologize for not getting it in the original part of the video. So if the video is chopped up a little bit, I'm sorry. Have a great day.